Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Now, before I get into this evening's story, understand that I'm the self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better, meaning that anytime I bring a story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. So if you're on your way to work, you're at work, you don't feel like being there, as we so often don't. You're on your way home from work, you need to laugh, you need to cry. Perhaps you're trying to lay down and take a nap, or you're trying to go to sleep at night, depending on whatever time you're viewing or listening to this video. Or you're just in the mood for a good old-fashioned true, keyword being true, penitentiary / life story / life experience. This is the channel for you. If you like your 8, 12, 15-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better. So with all that being said, there is a message. I'm sure some of you are looking like, what in the world is going on, Kens? Well, I'm on my way home and it's dark in the car, and I didn't really want to, point the camera at me per se, for the simple fact that it's dark and you're really not going to be able to see me anyway. So I just faced the camera towards the highway and just figured, hey, y'all rock with me this way. I know you all hate when I do the videos that I'm not showing my face, but guess what? My voice is my voice, and we're gonna make it do what it do. I'm sitting back reflecting, as I so often do, and I'm thinking about all the crazy situations that I've been a part of. For you all that don't know and is not familiar with the channel, my crimes that I was actually convicted of have always consisted of counterfeiting in some form of fashion. Rather it be money, rather it be checks, rather it be credit cards. It always fell into that, that range, if you will, that category. I'll tell you all about 2 situations. And again, I've already been charged. I've already been, convicted, did my time. But I'm going to tell you all about 2 situations that happened. And it's kind of funny looking back on it, but really, it's not really a funny thing. We had an individual one time, and he went by the name of Zeus. Called him Zeus for a reason. Zeus was about 6'2", 6'3". No, he was not 5'11". Stop it, okay? Stop it. He was not 5'11". The whole world is not 5'11". But he was about 225 pounds. He had long dreads, caramel complected. I would say at the time, Zeus was about, 45 years old, if I had to guess. Kind of a nice sized dude. He was cut up, paws. And Zeus had an ID that actually looked nothing like him, to be totally honest. Well, there's an old saying, they say that all black people look alike. I definitely don't think that. But hey, to each his own. Everybody has an opinion. Initially, he had an ID that looked like him, but he lost the ID. Well, Kens, what's the significance of an ID? Especially an ID that doesn't look like him. We had these counterfeit checks. Look just like business checks. They were business checks. Everything was real on the checks, as far as the account number, the routing number, the check numbers, as far as the sequences, the signature. Everything looked identical to what an original check would actually resemble. Zeus would take these checks into individual banks. And at the time, we would always target banks that were inside of grocery stores like a Myers, Kroger's, Walmart's. For whatever reason, we felt as though those were the easiest banks to cash these checks at. We would keep the checks relatively low, $3,600, $3,800. That's relatively low as far as a business check is concerned. We would go to these locations. He would cash a check. He would come back to the car. We would go to the next location. Now, Zeus would always get mad because he would be like, man, y'all stupid, man. Why do y'all keep parking way across the street? Just pull up in the parking lot. No, we're not going to pull up in the parking lot. Because if anything were to happen, they have a description of the car. They have the license plate number. You know, so it made absolutely no sense to pull into the actual bank parking lot or the store parking lot. So as I mentioned, we would park quite a distance away, but yet we would be able to see Zeus at all times when he went into the bank and when he came out of the bank. So we had done maybe 3 stores that particular day. Like I said, all for about $3,800. Everything was cool. Everything was going smooth. Us being greedy, that amount of money that we just came up on within an hour, it wasn't enough. We were trying to hit 5 spots. We get to the 4th location. When we get to the 4th location, it's like a shopping center. It's an actual bank, but it's in a shopping center. We let Zeus out. He goes inside. We would always tell Zeus, hey, leave the money in the car. Because if anything were to happen, we can come and bond you out. You know, we can help the situation. We're not going to run off with your money. I guess Zeus didn't trust that. Zeus said, hell no, I'm not leaving my money in the car. And he takes his money in with him at all times. Zeus goes into the bank. Now we trying to tell Zeus, like, Zeus, you got to look professional, man, when you go into the bank, man. You know, you can't just be going into the bank saying and doing anything. Zeus had a tendency to not really listen to us. He just kind of did what he wanted to do in a sense. He said, hey, man, I'm hungry, man. Y'all got to stop and let me get me something to eat, man. I'm hungry. Come on, Zeus, can't this wait, man? We need to go, you know, you're going to be in and out. Man, I'm hungry, man. All right, man. We stopped by like the gas station or something like that. He goes inside, he gets him a chili dog. He got the onions, he got the relish, ketchup, mustard, a bag of chips, and he gets him a drink. Now, the Thornton's gas station is not too far from the bank. It's relatively close, to be honest. We get to the bank. We're telling Zeus, man, go ahead and eat your food. Man, I got this, man. I think Zeus had probably been getting high that day. Man, I got this, man. Y'all can't tell me nothing, man. I got this. Let me do this. Let me quarterback this situation. This fool Zeus walks into the bank eating a chili dog. Eating a chili dog with cheese and, like I said, relish and onions. And he got his chips in his other hand. And I can only imagine, yeah, I need to cash a check. Actually, we know exactly what he said because he had an earpiece on. So we could hear everything. Yeah, I need to cash this check. So he gives him the check. You know, everything on the checks would always be signed. They would already be signed, rather. So that if anything were to happen, it wouldn't be his signature. And sometimes they would ask you to put a thumbprint on the check. We would always stop and get super glue and put it on his thumbs. We'd tell him to put it on his thumbs. And we would instruct them, if they do give you a thumbprint or require you to do a thumbprint on the check, just barely press down on it. See, when you put the super glue on there, it distorts the thumbprint. Now, I'm not recommending anybody do this sort of criminal activity. You will go to prison. I repeat, you will go to prison. I'm just simply telling you all once again how I ultimately ended up in prison once again. Zeus is inside. It's probably about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. The lady's telling him, you know, the clerk is telling him, just a second, sir. We have to verify this. They take the check to the back. Zeus is sitting there, he's eating his food or whatever. Small talk, you know, the clerk is, it's a beautiful day outside, and, you know, small talk. It's been about 10 minutes. Telling Zeus, hey, man, come on up out of there, man. Something ain't right. It ain't nothing but a $3,600 check. In the major scheme of things, when it comes to business checks, that's not a lot of money. Hey, Zeus, get out of there, man. Something's not right. No, man, I got this. He's whispering kind of, but he's still kind of talking loud. Hey, Zeus, get out of there, man. You've been in there way too long. Something is up. Zeus don't want to come out of the bank. The lady's telling him that, sir, we're just trying to verify the check. Just be patient. Just wait, you know, just one moment. We'll be right with you. No, man, I need my check back. Zeus is acting as though this is like a legitimate check. Like he really earned this money and worked for this money. I need my check. I need my check and shit. About 15 minutes, Zeus finally comes out of the bank. But he's mad. Let me tell you what this fool does. He comes out of the bank, goes directly next door. It's like a Rite Aid, a Walgreens or a Rite Aid. I can't remember exactly which one. But he goes into the store and buys him a bottle of liquor. Police is coming. We hear the sirens coming, like literally the sirens. We like, hey, bro, come on, man. What are you doing? Man, hold on, man. I got to get this liquor. Man, come on. The police is coming. What are you doing, Zeus? Come on. The parking lot was relatively, you know, a large parking lot, and they had a gas station on the parking lot. So we're parked over by the gas station. There's surveillance cameras and things of that nature from the bank would never be able to pick us up at the gas station. Zeus is acting as though we're getting on his nerves. Bro, the police are coming. We hear sirens. They are coming. Zeus walks out of the store with 2 bottles of liquor. The woman from the clerk in the store, she chases, well, she runs after him. He don't run. He's just walking normal. He got one of those hats on, like a bucket hat, and he had on some sunglasses. He's walking just normal across the parking lot. Again, I'm trying to paint a picture for you all. The sirens, you hear the sirens in the background, and they're getting closer and closer. The lady from the bank, she never came out of the bank, but the lady from Walgreens or Rite Aid, whichever one it was, she's coming out of the bank and she's on the phone. This guy's just walking just normal, like, you know. We have to really, really be careful because we can't allow her to see what type of vehicle he gets in. He hears the police. He gets close to the car. He starts to jog. Come on, man, come on. He jumps in the car. We get away. We was like, Zeus, what was you doing, bro? But we had to be careful, man. Again, he was Zeus for a reason. This particular day, we were already so comfortable with him because we had already, you know, made so much money with Zeus. You can't really get mad at him because he was the cash cow. Again, the ID that he had when he went into the bank looked absolutely nothing like him. And what I believe happened was the lady looked at him. She looked at the ID. She looked at him. She looked down at the ID. One moment, sir. We just need to get this verified. But in her mind, she's probably like, come on, man. This looks clearly not you. Blatantly not you. They ended up keeping the ID. They kept the check. And as I mentioned, we got away that day. But ultimately, we ended up getting caught up. And it was on Zeus again. Zeus was inside of the bank. The people are stalling him out. Hold on just a second, sir. We're just trying to get the proper change. We're trying to... He sees somebody that he knows. He's in a Kroger. It's like one of those banks that's inside of a Kroger. He sees somebody he knows. He's in there kicking it with the people. It's 10 minutes. Come on, Zeus, man. Come on. All right, man, I'm coming. Same scenario. We start to hear the sirens. By the time he finishes his conversation, he decides to take our advice. He's walking out of Kroger. Police is running in. Stop right there, sir. Got Zeus. They connected him to the several other checks that he had cashed, and that's all she wrote. Zeus ended up pleading out, and he got 5 years. The second situation that happened, this was really, really strange. Even to this day, I think back and it's like, I fully don't understand. Had a female and you had a dude. The female was white. The dude, which was her boyfriend, he was black. The female, I don't even remember her name, so we'll just call her Sarah. Sarah was probably, if I had to guess, probably about 25, 26 years old, maybe 24, somewhere right around in that range. Sarah was kind of cute. She had blonde hair. She was, Sarah was probably about 5'5", 5'6". I'd say she weighed about 140, 145 pounds. Nicely built. Sarah was already on the run for checks, credit card fraud. She didn't care. Now, I didn't know this individual. My partner, one of my co-defendants, he was like, hey, I got this girl. She got an ID, but she don't even care about using her own ID because she's already on the run anyway. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want anybody to use their own information, their own ID. Let's try to find her an ID. We had a little connection on IDs. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say exactly, but we would often come up on IDs, 5, 6, 7 IDs at a time. I got the IDs. I'm looking at her. She doesn't actually see me, but I'm looking at her real ID. I'm like, oh, this girl can pass for her. Same scenario. The checks are made up. I'm not going to say exactly who and where the checks were made up at and by, but just know that the checks look very, very professional. And the same situation, if you will, occurred. She goes into the bank. Again, it's her and her boyfriend. Boyfriend's a black dude. He's not really that big. He probably weighing in at 160, 170. Dark-skinned dude. Kind of polite. He was probably, about the same age, 25, 26 years old. You could tell like he wasn't no goon. He wasn't really no street type dude. At least he didn't appear to be. I would say he was about 5'11". He was about 5'11". Roughly. The reason that I know is because most people are 5'11". Y'all rock with me. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. We're on my way back to Lexington, Kentucky. Y'all chime in and let me know where you at, where you chiming in from. As you can imagine, I'm taking a sip of my water as I'm saying, y'all rock with me. My partner's in the car with these two individuals. They get to the bank. Now, this is the second location. They had already went to one location. They hit. These checks were for like $4,800. Slightly under $5,000, I remember. $4,800, $46.85, something like that. She goes into the first location, as I mentioned. She hits. She comes out. She wants to do one more. Back at you one more again. She's ready to get some real money. We get to the second location. Now, mind you, when we get to the second location, the entire time I'm in a different car. I'm trailing them. The two don't even know that I'm trailing them. Obviously, my co-defendant, he knows what's up. I'm on the phone with him. I got a dummy phone. He got a dummy phone. We get to the second location. it's kind of weird because it wasn't really a whole lot of places to hide at as far as parking. It was kind of like out in the open. I parked and I was able to see what was going on. It was once again by a gas station. She goes inside of the bank. It's probably about 5 minutes. Not really thinking anything of it because, you know, sometimes when you go in the bank, it's a line. So 5 minutes is not you know, too long to wait. 10 minutes goes past. She's still in the bank. I'm calling my partner on the phone like, hey, bro, I mean, what's going on? He's like, man, I don't know, man. He said, man, I said, well, call her up on the phone because she didn't have the earpiece. Call her up on the phone to see what's going on. He's calling her on the phone. She's not answering the phone. 15 minutes goes past. My partner's like, hey, man, I'm about to get out of here. So her boyfriend was like, nah, hold on, man. You can't just leave my girl. You can't. Well, your girl need to come on, man. It's 15 minutes. And she's not answering her phone. Nah, man, you can't. I'm going inside to get my girl. I'm going inside. Man, you can do what you want to do. Y'all both get left. I'm telling you, if you go inside, you are going to get arrested, man. It don't take 15 minutes to cash no check. Another couple minutes goes past. Mind you, I'm over by the gas station. It's a helicopter. Police helicopter hovering around the bank. Wildest thing I've ever seen. I'm calling my partner like, hey, bro, it's a helicopter, man. It's a helicopter. And then once again, I don't hear the sirens. So I can't really say once again. So let's rewind that. This particular instance, I don't hear the sirens, but I see 3 police cars. They're in the area, and they're getting closer and closer. Simultaneously, I'm telling my partner, like, hey, bro, police is coming, man. Get out of there. The police is coming. All right, man, we gone. They leave. When they leave, I didn't even realize that she had came out of the bank. That's the reason I said simultaneously. Because when I'm telling him, get out of there, the police is coming, man. It's a helicopter, man. She had came out of the bank, but I didn't know because I had already got ghost. Getting ghost means I got out of there. Urban Dictionary. I'm gone. I'm seeing this helicopter. He's just flying around the area. Now, one might say, they do all of that for checks. To be perfectly honest, yes. See, you have detectives that are assigned. You have your homicide detectives. You have your robberies. You have your, you know, basically you have a division of detectives or a department of detectives for any particular case, any particular unit, crime unit. Police, helicopters. I see my partner and he heads down like it's a one-way strip. I see the police heading that exact direction. I know he's hit now. We hit. They got us. Come on, man. Come on out of the bush. Come on out of the bushes, dog. They got us. I'm calling his phone. Hey, bro, the police they heading in your direction, man. A couple minutes later, I'm calling his phone again. Because now I've lost visual. I've lost, I'm unable to see because I'm gone, man. I went in a totally opposite direction. I just know we hit. They done brought out the helicopters, but I'm like, man, over some checks? It ain't like we trying to sting for, you know, 100,000 or 25, 30,000. Not all at once. I'm calling my partner back. I'm not getting an answer. Man, what is going on, man? I call maybe about 4 or 5 times straight. I get no answer. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to think. I don't know nothing. I'm contemplating throwing the phone. That's how paranoid I was. I'm contemplating throwing the phone out of the window, just destroying the phone and throwing it out of the window. Because in my mind, I'm thinking if they brought out the helicopters, I'm calling my partner. The detectives probably have his phone, and they see that this phone number, even though it was a dummy phone, but nevertheless, I didn't know if they could track the phone. I didn't know. I figured they couldn't, but also wouldn't imagine that they would have brought out some helicopters for a $4,800 check. Although there was the second check. I called several times. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to get rid of the phone. And I'm not going to call from my own phone. He's still not answering the phone. I probably done called 15 times within probably an hour, hour and a half. My partner done got hit. Dang, man. I knew he should have got out of there. Probably about an hour and a half later, my phone rings. I see it's my partner. 5-star. Actually, I did an interview on 5-star. My first and only interview that I've done. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch that interview, go back. I did it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I think it's titled Ken's Interviews Co-Defendant. Like I said, it'd been about an hour and a half. My phone was ringing. I'm looking at the phone. Now I'm kind of, I'm looking at it like, hold on, man, what's going on? I answered the phone, but I disguised my voice. Hello? Hello? I don't want it to really, really sound like me, because I'm not going to lie. At this particular moment in time, I didn't know what to expect. So instead of answering the phone, as I typically do, like, hello? I picked the phone up. Hello? What's up, man? Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to disguise my voice. What's going on? He was like, hey, man, I'm thinking he's at the jail. I don't know. Are you trying to set me up? Hey, man, where you at? I don't remember what I said. I'm at Walmart or somewhere. Totally opposite of where I really was. I'm coming to you, man. I'm coming to you. I said, man, what happened, man? What's going on, man? I'm coming to you, man. Everything's all good, man. I made a couple stops. Everything is all good. Again, I'm looking at this and I'm like, nah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's my dude, and we ain't never had no issues or whatever. He ain't never said nothing about me. I ain't never said nothing about him. But I seen the police going in you all's direction, the helicopter, everything. Then I'm calling your phone, you're not answering. It's been an hour and a half. I haven't heard anything. Now you just seemed a little funny to me. Seemed a little suspicious. I go ahead and meet up with him. Man, he meets up with me, hands me $2,400. I'm still looking around to make sure, like, man, this a setup? I said, dog, what happened? He said, man, she was in the bank, but it was a long line. And then, once they did finally get to her, I think they were trying to call and verify the check. And she stood in there like a soldier and waited. Never left the bank. He said when she came out of the bank, she was sea walking. She was happy, dancing around. But she didn't know that helicopter. She didn't know them police was outside. I'm sure she heard the helicopter, but never in a million years would she have imagined, just like I didn't, that the helicopter was there for them over some checks. Y'all rock with me. Taking me another water break. The police and the helicopter were there for somebody totally unaffiliated with us. It was just a coincidence that they were on the same area, in the same area, on the same road. And it was just like one of those things to where it seemed too good to be true. The girl got her $1,200. She probably, split it with her boyfriend or whatever. My co-defendant got his $1,200, and they brought me to $2,400. Of course, I had to split it with, somebody else as well. And I looked at my co-defendant, 5-star, and I was like, man, this dude is real for real. Real for real. For the simple fact that he could have told me, man, they took the money, they kept her in the bank. I wouldn't have had no clue, and I really wouldn't even have doubted it or second guessed it. For the simple fact that I was out there when I seen the police. See, I thought when the police went down that same road that they had gone down, they had pulled him over. That was a crazy situation, and I have many, many more additional, if you will, situations that we've encountered, because you run across so many different people, so many different personalities. People have lied and said that they didn't get the money, and we've caught them in a lie, and like, it's just, I have story after story after story. That young lady ended up getting caught up. And when she got caught up, it's ironic how it happened. Because again, even though they had her picture, her visual on camera, she had a hat on as well. They had stopped at a gas station, a speedway. And the detectives, they had gotten surveillance from the areas, I guess. I don't even know how they knew that they stopped at this speedway. But my partner went inside of the speedway as well. I think he got him a pack of cigarettes, something like that. And they had him on camera talking to her. Well, of course, he's like, man, I don't know her. Well, you was talking to her? Yeah, I was talking to her, but I mean, you can't talk to people. I don't know who she is. They try to link us all together. And ultimately, we were all charged with organized crime. 5 or more people committing crimes on a continuous basis. Continual basis. I never seen the girl in court. Everybody else, not everybody, but it was a few people that was on the indictment. But when we went to court, there was a few people missing. Never seen these people a day in my life. That was the last situation in which I got caught up on. And I don't remember how much time that I ended up getting for that, because I ended up having to take a plea deal because they were threatening me with 20 to life if I went to trial. And it was a great possibility that I would have gotten 20 plus, wouldn't have gotten life, but I would have gotten 20 plus. I think I ended up getting like 11 years on that sentence, in which I would have to do 26 months in order to see the parole board. You do 20% of your time in Kentucky, unless it's a violent charge, before you have an opportunity to go up for parole. Me and Fab would often argue, and we even came to blows a time or two. But one thing about that guy, man, he's solid, man. Never said a word. We went down together with the sinking ship. Pause, double pause, triple pause. And the reason I said we went down together with the sinking ship, because everybody else on the indictment, with the exception of 2 other people, were pointing the fingers at us. Meaning that if we got up on the stands, he did it. They don't tell about the part that they was calling, blowing our phone up, and, hey, we need to get some money. Please come pick me up, man. I need to make some money today. I haven't eaten today. We're in a hotel room, and if we don't pay the rent today, we're going to get kicked out. Or, they don't tell the detectives and the prosecution all of that. No, they make it like, no, man, he just kept calling me, and we cashed a $4,800 check, and he didn't give us nothing but $200. Those are the type of stories that they tell. Totally false. I was scared that day for my partner, man, because I really, really thought that he had gotten caught up. But I asked them, man, what was you all doing for an hour and a half? Oh, man, we had to stop here. We had to stop there. I'm thinking that they went somewhere and you know, was preparing themselves to get high later on. Getting the necessary items, if you will, to get high with, to get high on. I wasn't tripping. He handed me at $2,400. I had already made $2,400 on the first go around. Now, I didn't keep the whole $2,400. There was another individual, and we referred to him as Invisible Man because nobody ever saw him. But the majority of the $2,400, you know, I pretty much kept. But yeah, those are just two of the situations that we went through back in the day, and this was a long time ago. And I'm gonna continue to reiterate that we've already been charged, convicted, did time for, you know, these charges or whatever. Whenever you're doing dirt, there's a lesson. Whenever you're doing dirt, I don't care how smooth you're doing it. I don't care how you feel as though, shoot, they're not going to see me. How they going to tell on me? The police always have a way to figure things out. There's so much technology. And it's not even solely technology. The majority of people that are arrested based upon an individual pointing the finger. He did it, she did it, and they automatically just come and arrest you. Even if they don't have any evidence on you, because an individual who just did this criminal act says, no, he put me up to it. This is what he looks like. This is what he was driving. Well, that's probable cause. She knows what he looks like. She knows what he was driving. Let's go get him. The next thing you know, they got you in Mayberry. Stay out the pen, man. That's the best thing to do, and you don't even have to worry about being in Mayberry. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Real Kens TV.